Alright, what's going on, guys? My name is Dan, and today we're going to have a new video. And today's video and format is going to be a little different from what I normally do. I've done something like this before where I just kind of sit here and kind of rattle off some stories or such, or just a topic at hand. And this is going to be kind of a new format that I'm just going to call like a story time or some shit. And you'll see these every so often if I'm too lazy to make actually something relatively decent. And today is one of those days because I haven't recorded in 2 days, so I'm kind of lazy and I can't really do anything else. So today's topic is going to be about a girl that I used to know on PlayStation and how I got her to rage quit off of Red Dead Redemption. Now, I've told this story to a friend of mine at school. His name's Andrew, and if you're watching this, hello, and congratulations, you're gonna be in a video. Kind of. But anyways, we are going to go into this. So, this is going to take us all the way back to probably when I was in the 5th grade. I want to say that I was in the 5th grade. So, there was this girl that I met while playing Red Dead Redemption, and her name, since I don't really know her and I don't really kind of care, we're just gonna say her name's Kaylee, just out of the blue. So anyways, I met this girl named Kaylee on Red Dead Redemption, and I thought she was cool. I was one of those squeaker kids that you'd hear in the lobbies that would talk on your mic and shit talk you and say that I fucked your mom in the ass. And that's what I kind of did, but not on Red Dead. I was kind of one of those pacifist people when it came to using a mic, except when I was with friends, and then your mom's getting fucked by all of us. But anyways, back on to the story at hand. So, I was playing with her, and she seemed kind of nice, and I was like, you know what, this person's kind of nice. You know, I enjoy her company, so I'm going to add her as a friend. And then we started talking and all this stuff, started to bond, we became those e-friends, and everything was kind of good. Now, here's the thing about Kaylee. In Red Dead Redemption, usually you're either a few types of people. You're a bandit, which usually you just go around and you kill people for no reason, because you're a dick, and then you're a person that just likes to level up, you know, do gang hideouts or do little missions and such inside of, you know, some type of, I guess, game modes that they had in the game. Or you were what Kaylee was, and it was kind of a, how should I put this, a role player. She liked to put herself in her female character's shoes, and she wanted to become just your average Joe. You know, obviously she had a complete decked out arsenal of weapons and such, but she was the type of person that would be like, you know what, I want to be a farm girl today, or you know what, I want to work at the general store. So that's what she would normally do. And I was the type of person that would kind of be all around, but I was mainly between the bandit and just those gang hideout clearance people, because I like to get all my weapons and such, get all the good stuff, and then go around killing everybody and everything in sight. So, I just need to get you some background information, and also, as a side note, my friend Michaela, who I've talked to for a while now and kind of fallen off, she'll be in this portion of the story. So, we're going to advance probably a year or so, and I've been talking to this chick, and there were some things that happened in between I really don't want to get into. It's kind of scary now that I think about it, but back then I was like, oh dude, this chick's going for me and all this stuff. So I'll just leave it at that. Anyways, we're going to fast forward to when the story actually takes place. And this was one of those private sessions that I would always have with friends where we just kind of do random shit and, you know, kill each other or just go on these huge raids for gang hideouts and such. And it was fun. I would do these like every day or every other day when I was on the PlayStation, and it was a bunch of fun. Be on there for like 8 hours a day, or any day that I was on there. From the time I got on to the time I had to get off to bed, I would usually be doing that. So, it was one of those days where it was just me, Kaylee, and Michaela, and we'd be talking via voice chat, and we'd just be having, a fun time. And it was one of those days where Kaylee was like, "Oh my god, let's roleplay." Not like that, but it kind of got like slipped into there. We would do a few hideouts, and she's like, "Oh, let's go back to McFarland's ranch or some shit." And it's like, "Oh yeah, you know what? Let's go in this house. Let's make this our house." And it's like, "Oh okay, I see where this is going. We're going role playing now." But anyways, all that happened, and I was talking with Michaela in a private chat that we had that was just us in there, and I was sending, messages back and forth like, "You know what, let's fuck with Kaylee. I think this will be pretty funny." So we did. And basically the first thing that happened that kind of set her off a little bit was me or Michaela killing her, and we'd say, "Oh, it's on accident. It's on an accident." Anyways, so I'll give you an example, which actually happened, by the way, and it always cracks me up to this day. So Kaylee would pretend that she's making supper, and that was always fun stuff. Fucking free food in a game. That's always fun. But she would be in there and she would pretend that she's the quote unquote, can't see me doing it, but quote unquote wife, and I would be the quote unquote husband, and I would walk in, after a quote unquote long day of work, and she would greet me, and then we'd have supper, and then we'd go to bed, quote unquote. But this particular time took a bit of a funnier turn. So I just want you to imagine this with me. So put yourself in my shoes. You're walking to this house that that there's a chick in that's quote unquote making food, and you walk in and she greets you. She's like, "Oh, welcome home, darling," and all this other shit. And what I did, I pulled my double barrel shotgun from the back holster of mine, and I just shot her in the fucking face. And oh man, that shit was so funny though. At the time, I was dying, and I'm still dying inside. And when I told Andrew this at school, I was still dying there, because you just walk in, she's like, "Oh, welcome home," and it's just she gets fucking shot in the forehead with like 80,000 pellets. And obviously that kind of ticked her off a little bit. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." Or I was like, "Oh, I thought that'd be really funny." So another instance was when Michaela and myself were quote unquote going to buy some goods at the general goods store, and we were walking, we're out in the open. Michaela's like all the way in the trees. She fucking shoots her in the back of the head or back of the spine with a sniper rifle, and she just plummets like a fucking rock. And I thought that shit was the greatest, and I still think it is the greatest to this day. But you'd have to actually experience it to find out. It's like, "Oh, dude, that shit's fucking great." But that was one of the other instances. And then this next bit just threw Kaylee off her boiling point. This is when the friendship started to deteriorate, and it did for a few months, but I'll get more into that later. So, on to this portion. We knew that Kaylee was a fan of horses in general, not just in the game, because horses were abundant in Red Dead, because cowboys and shit, but this one horse in particular. This horse, it was like a vanilla colored for the body, and the hair was kind of like a whitish, really light blonde. And I had the horse in single player, and I knew exactly what she was talking about. It was a rare horse that kind of didn't really spawn a whole lot, but I guess today it was one of those like really abundant days where rare stuff just kind of flows like it's common, or even better than common shit. But this is gonna be funny. I hope, at least. So, we knew that that was one of her favorite horses, and we knew that there was a horse in one of the pens in McFarland's ranch because we heard her squeal like a little bitch and say, "Oh my god, it's my horse." And then she swapped from being a housewife type deal to becoming a farm girl, or someone who tends to horses in the ranch. I don't really know what those are called, but I'm just going to say a person that tends to horses in a ranch. That'll be the job title. So anyways, we knew that was her favorite horse, and we've killed the horse before, and it's never worked out well, because she would always go on a murderous rampage until she found the horse again, and then she'd become a pacifist again. It was kind of one of those weird things. So we were like, yes, we need to fuck with her to that great of an extent. We need to kill that horse and get her so ticked off that she leaves the game. It was a brilliant idea. It's still a brilliant idea in my mind. Fuck with somebody to that much of a level, and hopefully they'll eventually leave. So, what we did, I believe it was Michaela, Kaylee, and me all like crowded around the horse, but Kaylee was on the horse, and Michaela and I were kind of just, like bumping against the horse and such, kind of just messing about. And what happened was Kaylee was riding around, and I think I shot the horse in the face, then she flailed off, and then I got killed, then Michaela got killed. And I said, I'm sorry. She found the horse again, probably like 20 minutes later, of kind of just being kind of rogue at this point. And what happened again was Michaela threw her off that horse, killed her, started running around with the horse, killed Kaylee again, and then shot the horse herself while she was on it. And then we kind of retreated back to Armadillo, which was one of the other major, towns of Red Dead Redemption and its universe. So we hightailed it there, and we were hiding in the saloon. But on our way there, there's a hideout, and if you have the Undead Nightmare DLC for Red Dead, this hideout will be available to you, and once you complete it, you get an explosive rifle. And if that name doesn't sound scary enough, when you see this thing in action, it is fucking terrifying. So, with this explosive rifle, it does exactly what it does. It shoots an explosive bullet, or whatever it shoots out, and whatever you hit turns into red mist. And where it once stood, it's just now just a pool of blood with mist all over the place. It's fucking glorious, I promise you. So, what we did, I got the rifle because Michaela didn't have the DLC at the time, I think. I don't fully remember, but all I know is that I got the rifle. I didn't tell her anything, or Kaylee anything. She was still in a rampage coming after us, and what happened after that was she was kind of like circling the saloon, or just waiting for us to peek our heads out, and started to, shoot us. She killed Michaela occasionally. I was kind of pansying out because I knew if I lost this explosive rifle, I couldn't use it because I need to go back to the hideout, and I didn't really want to do that, so I was kind of hiding out. And what Kaylee decided to do was kind of veer off into a little more distance, so you couldn't really use the pistols against her that well, because that's kind of what we were using at that point. And I decided to get out the explosive rifle and shoot her mount, so it turned into a bunch of red mist. All you see is a chick flailing in the air, plummeting to the ground with just red mist surrounding her everywhere, because her mount and her companion is fucking gone. It's in a bajillion pieces right now. And oh man. And then I shot her with it, and then she turned into red mist, and then all I heard was just the sound of like an insane asylum patient. It's just like it was great. So that happened again for a second time, and then she started to get off into the more distant area to where you can only really use snipers, or if you're really lucky, using one of the repeaters, because that's where the explosive rifle kind of dips off, because it's curve and it's just very short range sometimes Sometimes it likes to actually hit things at a long distance, but it doesn't tend to be the most accurate thing in the world from what I've used it for. And we started to use snipers, but we didn't really kill Kaylee a whole lot. What we would do is just shoot Kaylee's mount and just watch her flail to the ground. And then Michaela would occasionally kill her. But then it kind of got to the point to where it was just like, you know what, I can't take this anymore. So we killed Kaylee once more, and then after that it was just like, fuck it, I can't do it anymore. So she left. And then after like 5 to 10 minutes of laughing our asses off, I get a message from her saying, I think it was just like, I can't believe you betrayed me or something like this. Some like very dramatic shit. And I was just dying. That was the point where I just had enough. And I was just crying. Because after all of this torture I put her through, she's like, I can't believe you've done this to me. And then I kind of got removed. And then Michaela got removed. And then a few months pass after that. I get a message from her again saying, do you remember me? And I say, yeah. Then we talked a little bit. And I was kind of, I wouldn't say making fun of her, but I was kind of just bringing up that past. And we got into a Red Dead Redemption lobby. And I kind of fucked with her a little bit there. And she's like, yeah, you haven't changed. And I haven't talked to her since. That's all over the span of a 5th grade year. So, long story short, if you meet me in a lobby and I'm in a dickish mood, there's gonna be some fun. Anyways, I thought that was probably one of the funniest things ever. I wish I honestly had footage from that, because that would make this story 100,000 times better. But, alas, I don't. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know if you guys want to see some more styles like this where I just kind of sit here and talk about some random shit that, you know, happened in my life, because it's pretty funny. I got some other interesting stories, kind of need to dig them in the back of my mind. This one kind of just surfaced out of nowhere because I've had a sudden urge to play Red Dead Redemption again, and I remembered, oh, I made someone rage quit and hate me for life out of Red Dead, when 1 minute they're just like, oh, you know, you want to be my boyfriend, to be like, yeah, you're a fucking dick. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, let me know if you guys want to see or hear any more of these types of videos in the future. Like your favorite if you enjoyed, subscribe if you have not already to not miss any of these videos in the future. My name is Dan, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Have an awesome day, guys.